Hey, Machnaim from MemberStack here, and welcome to MemberScript 150. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a save and unsave feature to your Webflow project, complete with a Pinterest-style grid. This script is useful if you are building any galleries like this one, where members can easily save their favorite images into a personal collection and then revisit them on a collections page over here, and either unsave them or download them. Let me jump into Webflow and show you exactly how to set it up. So first things first, you're going to want to grab MemberScript 150, and it should look like this. There will be two scripts that you need to add. The first one will be on the gallery page, so this page that's currently titled Success. And the next script, also MemberScript 150, but part 2, will be added on the collections page. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to that code should be in the description below, so you can easily grab it from there. And if you're watching this from the MemberStack site, then you should have already seen the code. All right, in Webflow, we are now going to create a collection where you will store all your gallery images. So in this case, my collection is called Posts. In this collection, just be sure to have a field over here named Category, where all your images will have a certain category. So for this image, there's a category of cat and so forth. Just navigating over to the gallery page. Okay, so on the page, you're going to want to add a collection list wrapper over here and bind that to your collection that you just created in the CMS. After that, you are then going to rename the collection list over here and just title it as grid, because this is related to the script on this page. This is also the container that will hold all your CMS items, and the grid layout will be applied to these items on this page. On the page, you'll now need the following attributes. On the collection item, you're going to need the attribute of MS code save item over here. And within the collection item, you are now going to add your modal over here. So if I just open this up and set it to display flex, this is how your modal will essentially look like. And this will give a user the ability to preview the image. Okay, so within the modal, you now add another div with the same attribute of MS code save item. And this div is the one going to house all your save, unsave, and download buttons. So these three buttons that you see above over here. Okay, so the first button will give the user the ability to save an item. So you would need to add the following attributes. MS code save, which will be tied to the slug, and then MS code category, which will be tied to the category, and then MS code add button, which you can just leave as blank. Same goes for the unsave button. You now add the attributes of unsave, bind it to the slug, category, bind it to the category, and then unsave button, you leave it as blank. And for the download button, you then add MS code download tied to the slug, and then MS code download button, and you leave that as blank as well. Within this button div, you are also going to add another div and just hide it. But within this div, you're going to add an image. And over here, that image will have MS code image. And this attribute will essentially help the script add an image URL so that a user can download it. This part functions or is tied to the script as well. The last thing you're going to want to add is the preview image over here. And this one will not have any attributes. This one will just be bound to the CMS. All right. Now we're going to build out the collections page. So just navigating over to the collections page over here, and I'm just going to hide this div again, this modal again, to set it to display none for now. Okay. So on the collections page, we're going to start by adding a wrapper over here. And this wrapper will have an attribute of MS code collections wrapper. This will essentially hold all the folders that will display a user's saved items. Inside that wrapper, you're now going to create another folder, which will be a template folder, and it's also a div with the attribute of MS Code folder. And this will essentially allow the script to clone it for each saved category. So if a user saved an image under the category of cat, the script will clone that category, clone this template for the category cat, and then display all the images for that category. Within this template, you are now going to add an element with, or a text element or a heading element with the attribute of MS Code folder title. And this is to display the category name and the item count. And then we're going to add another container div over here with the attribute of MS Code folder items. And this is where all your saved images will appear. Inside that container, you'll now have your image. And that image will have the attribute of MS Code folder image, which will be cloned for each saved image. Also, within this folder, you're going to want to include your modal so that when a user clicks on a certain image, then the modal opens to give them the Unsave buttons and the download button, as well as a preview of the image. Within that modal, so this modal over here, you're now going to add an attribute of MS Code modal. And then when we open up the modal again for the content, you will now see an image over here, which is the preview image. So that image will have an attribute of MS Code modal image. Within this modal, if I just set it again to display flex over here, within this modal, you'll also see the save and unsave buttons. So these buttons over here, you can as well add the same attributes from the gallery page and just leave these as blank. So MS Code save, MS Code category, MS Code add button. The script itself will add all of these all of the bindings necessary for these attributes. Okay, so with this setup, let me just close this up again over here. Display none. With this setup, it allows the script to dynamically generate folders of saved content for logged in users using their stored member stack JSON data. And that's it. You've given your users a full save and unsave experience, plus a collections dashboard. Don't forget to check the description for the link to the code. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the Slack 2.0 channel. Bye.